Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
All right. We are here, you guys. After a long holiday weekend. Yes, give the force of friendship a round of applause. We got issues. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. We come to work for applause, don't we? We come to work for applause. Thank you for dialing in to 9:10 a.m. The Superstation. We got issues with Sabrina, Caterina, Crisette, and Gloria. We are glad to see each and every one of you today, hear you on the airwaves. When I tell you this summer is officially over, I don't know to be sad or glad. I'm really sad. I'm very sad. I love summer. It's my favorite season. And so, what is your favorite season, Crisette? What is your favorite season, Caterina? Summer is my very favorite.
Summer is my number one favorite season. My number
is
one.
It? Okay.
Absolutely.
And spring is a close second. Yes. What about you, Kat?
My second is fall. Definitely my first is summer. I can't imagine anybody whose first ain't summer. But my second is fall. I think I like, and possibly because I don't get to see all those changing of the trees that y'all see, although you have to see that in fall too. But I think fall is my second favorite.
That's my second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kenny loves fall. He loves football weather. He loves this turning of the leaves. Hey, Bishop. How you doing, Bishop? Hey, good to see Bishop Ellis in the house. Hey, Bishop. 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. We love our Bishop. Yes, we do. So, you guys, we just came off of a long holiday weekend. Hope it was well. I know I celebrated wedding anniversary, and it was spectacular. Went to an amazing resort in Virginia, and it was fabulous. Yes, 28 years. And Gloria's
Tell us about it. What's
I will tell you about it. Well, it's the Cavalier. Gloria is away celebrating her 25th wedding anniversary. Let's give Gloria Mayfield Banks and Ken a round of applause. Yes. Tis the season. And so we went to the state of Virginia. Virginia is for lovers. And I tell you, it was a great destination, mini getaway. We were not going to do a whole lot. You know, women are funny. Kenny asked me about a week ago, do you want to do anything? I was like, no, we've done enough. We need to get busy, get serious about this move. And you know, you don't tell Kenny Monday no, because he's like, okay, cool. Okay. He's not going to ask you twice. And so it was the day before our anniversary. And I'm like, this ain't feeling quite right. So I started Googling, where can we go? And everything on the Outer Banks was booked up. I mean, it's holiday weekend, everything's booked up. But I remember, you guys, the Cavalier, the historic Cavalier Hotel in Virginia Beach, waterfront, amazing. Somebody had told me about that. And I called them. They were booked up, but they said, call back in the morning. We might have a cancellation. They had a cancellation. And when I tell you, at one point, it was named America's greatest small boutique resort in the USA. And you guys, and it was everything. I told Kenny, it just felt like I wasn't even in the USA. They have a beautiful beach club. I'm telling you, it was something special, you guys. So really, if it's a quick getaway,
add it to your list.
Add it to your list. Yep. So we had a great time. What did you guys do the long holiday weekend?
How far is that drive, Sabrina?
4 hours from us.
4 hours.
Oh, that's not bad.
It was perfect. And then Kenny fell in love with Virginia Beach, saying, you know, I could retire here. I was like, yeah, until the hurricanes come. Okay. But we like Virginia Beach. So it was awesome. It was awesome. Did you guys do anything major this weekend?
I hung out, let's say on Sunday, my husband's family came over, and so we did our holiday weekend on Sunday. So that was really nice. Everybody gathered, and it's always fun when his family comes over, and we sat and chewed the fat and went down memory lane. You know how families do. So that was really, really nice. And then on Monday, we have this thing called Arts, Beats, and Eats. And it's a festival. They had to cancel, of course, the last 2 years because of 2020, it was canceled because of COVID. And so when I tell you, they were so ready to have that come back. So we went there. It was people everywhere. Some people had on masks, other people didn't. And so we walked around, they have all the food and, different vendors. And then they had, different musical artists that were there. And Bobby Brown was there. Bobby Brown. So
BB in the house.
BB.
Hey,
okay.
Rocket ship. He showed up. Huh?
Oh my goodness. And let me just say this. I mean, Chuck says this all the time, and it is true. Father Time is undefeated. Father Time is undefeated. The things you used to be able to do, if you live long enough, it's going to be what you used to be able to do and not what you're doing now. So, you just look and you say, man, you remember when he would be on stage and he was bopping all over the stage and moving. Listen, he had a 1-2 sway in place. But I mean, the crowd absolutely when I say they still love them some B&B, they love them some Bobby Brown. So it was a lot of fun, And then you guys, wait a minute, last thing. So how about we got a guy at our church, Sam. He's an awesome young man. And one of his side gigs is he's very petite, and literally he could play as a double for Sammy Davis Jr. And so one of his side gigs is, whenever there's an event and he knows it's going to be a lot of people, he's out there and he's singing all of Sammy Davis Jr.'s greatest hits. So we're walking to the car and we look up, there's Sam. He out there got his boom box and he about to, sing. And Sammy Davis Jr. did an awesome song called Hello Detroit. It is really an amazing. Come on, play a little bit of it.
Yes.
So he's out there getting ready to sing that. Chuck walks over, and the next thing you know, y'all, Chuck steals the mic from Sam. And when I say took over his little gig, took it over. I'm like, for real, Chuck.
People put money in the hat for the
cousin
bishop.
was there. The Wayne County Sheriff, I'm calling you out, Ray Washington. He gets over there. And when I tell you that thing was funny, Sam, absolutely, that's probably one of his best nights, was letting them take over his show. So I promise you, we had a great weekend full of laughter and just great memories. So yeah, it's a good weekend. Kat.
Crisette, one of my favorite times, I can't remember what country we're in. I started to say, seemed like it was France. I don't know where we were, but all of us, all the couples were walking down the street. And remember, it was someplace in Europe. Somebody was singing and he grabbed the dude's hat. And I remember he was doing Prince. He was doing the whole way, just taking over. He's classic. Okay. Remember when we were in Portugal and you were learning to dance? Okay.
Yes.
I mean, Bishop loved to have a good time. Loves to have a good time. This was a great weekend. And I feel like I am excited because we are getting away later this month. But it was a catch-up weekend. You know how sometimes you're just happy to do some things that you've been wanting to do. Okay. Just around your house, just getting some things together. Yeah. So we are continuing to purge. We are continuing to purge in the garage. Get excited. So we did some more purging in the garage. And I mean, it feels good when you when Christmas comes around this time, I could find all the stuff that I was looking for last year because it was not together. So just purging. And I just don't want to be the Debbie Downer, but yesterday I lost a friend to COVID. She had been intubated. I don't even know how long she had been sick. She worked for the parole office. She was a supervisor, and but she wasn't so she was an essential worker. And she was also at her last post. She was at the gym. She had been very serious about working out, but she was not vaccinated, y'all. Not vaccinated, and she had been on a ventilator over a month, and she passed away yesterday. So that was really the majority of my day yesterday, was just that devastating news. We have been praying and praying and praying and believing God, and she passed away. And
so sorry to hear that.
Just 2 people last week, a neighbor across the street and a friend who lives up the street from me.
Yeah, it's all around us. It's all around us. I know we're trying to assume some sense of normalcy. You see the football stadiums are packed to capacity. Right. We're really out there trying to see what this world is going to be. In a couple of weeks, we will know if these colleges are going to be able to stay in. We're going to see if this college football season is going to go on about its business this fall. We will know a lot in the next couple of weeks, because when I tell you, no social distancing at those football games whatsoever. So, Caterina, so very sorry to hear about your friend's passing. I got some news too about a family friend this weekend, and I just don't know what to say other than, you guys, please go get vaccinated. You either got the vaccination or the virus, and even with that, people who are vaccinated are getting sick. So we just have to be prayerful, wear your mask, social distance, and let's try to live our best lives and stay close to Jesus as we possibly can. Today, you guys, we are talking how to get unstuck from the negative muck. You know what? It's over. Summer's officially over, but you turn on the news and it's overwhelming. It can be overwhelming. So to our tribe, call in 313-778-7600. We're going to talk about a few more hot topics, current events, things that are going on. But we want to know, have you ever been stuck? We want to know, what do you do to get unstuck? We know we got some professionals out there. If you're stuck and you're determined not to be stuck no more, this is the show. This is the show. So tag a girlfriend who's been talking about being stuck, tag a guy friend, tag a family member. They might not want to hear how to get unstuck, but you need them to hear this show. So this is one to forward. This is one to share. This is one to tag somebody. Let us know where you're listening in from. We are so grateful for our loyal audience. We've got a lot to say. We see Cardi B had a baby boy over the weekend. Cardi B and Offset. Yes,
her Louis Vuitton blanket. Okay, probably. You see, I mean, you knew it was a boy. They said she had a boy, right?
Yep, she had a boy, had that baby blue blanket. So now they have a boy and a girl. And, you know, it's always drama with Cardi B. You know, after that first baby, they broke up. Then they got back together. So let's see if they can stay together with this second baby, if that seals the deal. We hope
so.
Look, they got together long enough to have another baby, okay? So
yeah.
Broke up.
Exactly.
Exactly. What's that song, Sabrina? Break up to make up. That's all we do.
That's
it. Love me, then you hate me. That's
me.
A game for fools.
That's right.
I'm feeling Marathon calling in and singing that song to us. I can just hear it now. Right. Hear it now.
Yes. Break up to make up, and some of you need to wake up before you break up and make up. And then, you know, they're doing the fool in Texas. They just doing the fool in Texas. I used to live in Dallas, and I'm so glad I don't live there right now, because I would be ashamed. It's just a shame what they're doing with the laws there in terms of the voting rights, the abortion laws. I mean, it's just one thing after another in the state of Texas. So what else you got, Caterina? I know you got some current news. Crisette, what else y'all got in the current news that you've been reading about?
Well, I posted that about Lil Nas and him being on People Magazine being pregnant.
So Lil Nas is pregnant with child. Okay. I never seen a man pregnant. Now I know they can have a baby. I know there's a way that they can, you know, not have a baby, but become parents. Become parents. become parents, because who was that? They just brought home twins. Somebody just brought home twins. A couple, two men just brought home twin babies. Can't think who that was, but I've never seen an impregnated man. And so that visual was something. Did you guys see the visual?
Juanita said that's not real. That's not real. So, you know.
Oh, that's not real. Okay.
That's the headline. So what does it mean? Is it just for attention? Is it just for, what does that mean? So it's interesting. Photoshop, you could do a whole lot of stuff, but I'm just wondering, does he really have something going on with his stomach, or was that just a photoshopped picture? So if you know.
Inquiring minds want to know. If y'all
anything.
Yeah. Okay. So our tribe tells us that's not real. Well, we go into the phone lines, you guys. We go into the phone lines, how to get unstuck from the negative muck. I know that you guys have a lot of ideas. When I tell you these girlfriends that you're looking at, they dress up real pretty. They got it going on. But I will tell you, they are masterful at getting unstuck. They are masterful at being overcomers. They are masterful at knowing that an objection is coming, knowing that tough times don't last, but tough people do. And so we're going to get some top tips this Tuesday from the tribe on how to get unstuck. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, how are you? You requested it. There you go. Hey, man, happy Tuesday. Happy terrific Tuesday. How's it going?
Yeah, I was sorry to hear about the actor that played Omar in the Wire.
Right. That was very sad. Very sad.
Yeah.
4 years old. And are they saying drug overdose? I think they're saying drug overdose.
They are.
I think they did say that. Yeah.
And they said he was really kind of open with his name was Michael K. Williams. Michael K. Williams. And he was open.
He was open about having, a battle with drug addiction, addiction. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that was I had a real nice holiday. Y'all had a real nice holiday?
We did. Grateful for the time away, grateful for getting away, we being as careful as possible. There are no guarantees out there. But I just don't know if we're going to be shut down for the winter, fall. So the fall, winter. So we'll see what these next few weeks bring. We will see what these next few weeks bring, Marathon.
I think I know the guy that does the Simon Davis Jr. He performs at Burke sometimes in the Eastern Market. Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Excellent. Marathon, we got to take another caller, but we always love you calling in. So take care, our friend. We're going to hit this next caller. Thank you for calling in for Top Tip Tuesday. All right.
Bye-bye.
Angela, you got the force of friendship. We got issues. How are you?
Hey, girl, fine. Just sitting here watching y'all. I didn't know we got issues, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So this your first time listening to We Got Issues, Angela?
Yes. I'm from Tulsa, but I'm staying with my daughter now because, girl, we do have issues because we had a fire that canceled. And everything, a fire, like,
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yes. And child, I said, oh, Lord, I've been out on my own since I got out of college. And I just turned 60. But what I was calling about is that a lot of people don't understand that when you start renting, you need to have renter's insurance so you won't lose everything. And some people just feel like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But honey, child, let me tell you, I said, never, ever will I be a cluttered person again. And you like to save stuff. And then you turn around and say, oh, I'm going to save this for Christmas or something like that for somebody. Girl, all that stuff got burnt up.
We're so sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that.
Well, yeah, but you know what? That's okay because I'm going to rise above the water anyway. So
that's what I'm talking about, Angela. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to go to a break, Angela, and we appreciate you rising up because you know how many people would stay stuck because they lost so much in a fire that they couldn't see their way through. So we thank you for your positivity. We thank you for making up your mind that you're not going to be stuck. No matter what it looks like, you're going to be an overcomer. So we are just grateful that you're on the other side of that fire. We got to go to a station break, Angela, but please be a regular. We're here every Monday through Friday. 313-778-7600, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Angela, we got to go to a break. We'll be back. Thank you for calling.
I'm reporting to the AM.
Tuesday, terrific Tuesday, and thank you so much for tuning into We Got Issues on today. Oh my goodness, I pray that you guys had an amazing Labor Day weekend. What are some of the things that you guys did? Hopefully, whatever you did it safely. You did it safely because, of course, you know, it's sad, but we have to give the reminders almost every single day that we're on to, you know, remember your mask, remember your brother, remember your sister, because this virus is going crazy. And of course, one of the things we didn't mention is that now the CDC is saying that there is a new variant out there, the Mu variant, that is a new, I guess, mutation of the variant. And it's just so interesting. I haven't done any research or anything about what I keep hearing them say is that viruses are very smart and they want to survive. And so they do whatever they can to survive by mutating until they get to a place where I guess they can survive. I guess it's the only way I know how to put it. But anyway, today's topic is one that all of us are familiar with. All of us at some point in time have been stuck, okay? We've all been stuck. And it's so easy to get stuck when there's so much negativity going on. And sometimes, I'm telling you, you start thinking to yourself, you know, is it worth it? I mean, the world is going this way, and it's real easy for you to spiral out of control and say, you know, I have some goals, some dreams, some aspirations, but, you know, I just feel kind of depressed, kind of stuck, kind of down. I have the blues. And, you know, listen to the radio and watching the news can absolutely keep you down with the blues. And so, you know, one of the things you've heard us say,
we're
all right,
back.
we're coming back from time to time. You gotta turn off
We're back.
the news
Yes.
Choose.
You're tuning in to 19 a.m. to Superstation
for yourself.
With the force of friendship.
Again, call in.
Gloria, Sabrina, Caterina, Crisette. We are here. And we are talking how to get unstuck from the negative muck. You guys, we are classy, messy, funny, sassy, techie, crazy, lazy, flighty, sassy, ornery. What else? What are some other words? Gossipy. Ornery, okay? Funny. We are all of those girlfriends. Whatever girlfriend you are, type your name in the chat. Oh my goodness, you guys. When I tell you we're going to come out with some shirts and some cups and all of that, and you're going to identify yourself. And we love, because of course, nobody wants to own their name, but it takes all kind to make the world go round. And so we thank you for being part of this tribe. We've been together 30 plus years, one way or another, and we have something to say. So we're grateful for this platform. We believe that we're positive, powerful, not Pollyannish. I mean, we're going to talk about it all. And wait till you hear who our guest is tomorrow. You just wait. And I tell you, you don't want to miss it. Set the alarm. Crisette, go ahead and talk to them about the show tomorrow and how they can reach us, because we will not be on Facebook. They have to download the app. But tell them who our guest is.
Okay, you guys, listen. We got issues. We're always looking to bring some topics that you are interested in. We're always looking to bring individuals that can share their story and individuals that are sometimes quite controversial. And so on tomorrow, we're going to have, you ready? We're going to have Omarosa is joining us on tomorrow. She is going to be our guest.
The other
okay.
Omarosa.
Okay. Omarosa is going to be with us on tomorrow. But this is the thing, especially to those of you that watch us so faithfully on both Facebook pages, the 9:10 a.m. and the Force of Friendship. We are only going to be on the radio tomorrow. So today, when you get off, you need to make sure that you download the 9:10 a.m. Superstation so that you can listen. We absolutely want you to call. We want to find out, what's been going on with Omarosa. Love her or not. I mean, she is definitely that person that has a lot going on. So tomorrow she is our guest. And you talking about conversation that we're going to have tomorrow. So you don't want to miss it. Sabrina?
All right. Sounds good. So let's jump into our topic, you guys. Getting unstuck from the negative muck. I mean, it's a lot of mucky muck out there. Like I say, you have goals, you have dreams, you have desires of the heart, and then you get stuck. You seem to be going nowhere fast. And so how do you move forward? How do you keep it pushing? Well, first, let's talk about why you are stuck. If you're feeling stuck, have you ever been stuck? You might be stuck in a relationship. You might be stuck in a job. You might be stuck in a living situation that you don't like. You might be stuck. You just stuck, okay? And so let's talk about how we're stuck, you guys. I mean, some of the reasons, let me tell you, in my research, there is so much on this topic, but some of the reasons people are stuck. Number one, you never have enough. You're just never satisfied. So you're in a perpetual state of being stuck. You have limitations that you set upon yourself. You lack confidence. You feel like you've lost control. The next one is you stop making plans. You just stop making plans. You don't think it's worth it. You don't take action. You don't believe. You have negative thoughts. You blame others for your state of being. It's everybody else's situation but your own. Lack of resources. That's a real thing. You're stuck because you don't have what you need to move forward. Oh my goodness, you guys. Crisette, Caterina, what are some other ways that people may be stuck? Or in your own life, how have you been stuck?
Well, you know what, Sabrina, what did you say, Caterina? Go ahead. I'll go up to you.
You go. I was just going to say habits. The biggest thing for me is stuck in habits and changing habits. You have a habit you want to change. For me, it's constantly, eating better, working out consistently. And so you can get stuck in the same habits, wanting to stop something or start something. So I could talk about that a little bit, but Chris, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, you can be stuck in your thinking and being stuck in the past and rehearsing over. And I'll admit there were times in my life where I was stuck in the past, constantly rehearsing things that had happened to me and offenses that have happened. And if you keep rehearsing that, that's not healthy and it's not good. But what it does is sometimes it gives you the justification that you need for what you're doing or the reasons why you can't do something because of things that happen to you. And so you have to stop rehearsing the past. Okay. You have to have that conversation when it comes to you. You have to say, I am choosing. Now we can't, what I've learned, especially one of the books that I read that I absolutely love is by Dr. Caroline Leaf, Switch on Your Brain. And one of the things that she says, which is so powerful, is that we have hundreds of thousands of thoughts that come to our minds constantly. We cannot stop that. That's the way our brain works. However, what she did say is you can choose what thoughts you stay with. So if a thought comes to my head and it's a negative thought, now I can choose to remain there, or I can choose to say, nope, I'm not going there. Let me change that thought. We can do that. And so one of the things that I practice, and Sabrina, Caterina, have you ever felt kind of like in a funk, or you kind of felt down and all of that, and you're trying to figure out why, and then you trace it? For me, I can trace it to a thought. I can trace it to something I've been thinking about. So what I have trained myself is to stop and think about what you're thinking about. And when I stop and thinking about what's causing me to feel that way, then I make a decision to change it. And I mean, biblically, Philippians 4:8, it tells us, these are the things that we are to think on. If it's of a good report, if it's true, if it's honest, these are kind of some of the things we are to think on. So for me, that has been a part of getting unstuck. When I feel a certain way, I think about what's making me feel that way. Then make a decision to change that frame of thinking.
Yeah. So what you're saying, Crisette, is identify that emotion, understand it, identify it, feel it. It's okay to feel it, but you got to deal with it. Feel it and deal with it. You guys, let's go to the phone lines. 313-778-7600. How to get unstuck from the negative muck. Let's see. Who do we have? Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, Angela. No, Tanisha. How you doing? Hi. How are you, ladies? We're great. Thank you for calling in.
Yes, I'm calling. I tend to get stuck a lot. And only because, and from what you just said, I can understand all of that. I can relate to all of it. But my thing is, I get stuck because I'm a only child, and I get stuck because I have to care for my mother. And we've been through a lot. She's been through a whole lot. And sometimes when things come up, I just get stuck there in my tracks, and I don't know which way to move. And it stops me in my business and everything. And it's like I freeze. And I just, and and I stay there, and I feel like I keep trying to dig myself out, but I just sometimes don't seem like I'm moving.
Yeah, that's real. That's a big responsibility, Tanisha. And thank you for calling in. Girlfriends, how would you address Tanisha? Any thoughts?
Well, you know what? As a caregiver, I first of all, Tanisha, thank you so much for calling in. As a caregiver to my 93, soon to be 94-year-old father, I totally understand, the stress that goes along with that. And I can't even imagine, Tanisha, being an only child and having all of that just totally on your shoulders. But what I do know for sure is, as a caregiver, it is so important that you practice self-care, because it's very difficult to give a good quality of care to someone else when you're not taking care of yourself. And so being an only child, it makes it difficult, because it's not like you can call your siblings up and say, hey, I need a break. Come take mom, or something like that. But I think it is definitely worth it for you to investigate. And I'm not saying that you haven't, but if you haven't investigated, other places or how you can get some help, there are so many blogs, there are so many, so much information out there is what I'm trying to say, that can probably help you in that situation, as far as finding the time to get away, where you can get some time, free yourself up of that responsibility, so that you feel refreshed and are able to go back and to be that caregiver that you need to be, because it is very challenging. I totally know. Even with the siblings that I have, this weekend, my sister had my dad. She picked him up on Friday and she had him from Friday. And matter of fact, she just dropped him off a few hours ago. And, even sometimes I was telling somebody today, even when you have somebody coming into your home, taking care of your parent, it's still not the same of you not having that person in the house at all, where you don't have to think about the responsibility. It's just, give me a few days to just be free, not to have to think of that responsibility. And then, she brought him back and we're like, oh, you're back. And so, we're always excited to see him when he comes back home. So hopefully that helps, Tanisha.
I wanted to definitely address Tanisha and just tell you, Tanisha, I know you're making a huge difference. Sometimes it's just breathing and just forgiving yourself. I'm looking up to you because I'm an only child, and my father is deceased, and my mother is very healthy, praise God. But I pray that she lives a long, long, long time. And so I constantly have had that thought of, what will it be like as an only child? What will that be like? And so I'm grateful. The other thing I would say is I am grateful for people that call my mom. And I guarantee you, I'm gonna be calling on them for, I need a break. I'm like, collect some more kids. So those are the two things I would say is just, don't beat yourself up. Sometimes it's not perfect. I know we want it to be a particular way, and ask for help from girlfriends. Just sometimes I just need, can you come help mom or do this for me, for my mother, just, for the next couple hours or something.
Yeah. And Tanisha, what I would also add to that is making sure that you can, in self-care is your life. Your life is your life. And so what do you have in front of you for yourself that is motivating you to keep it moving, to work toward personal goals, to not get lost in the care of your loved one? So making sure that you have priorities for yourself. So Tanisha, was that helpful?
She gets a little stubborn and things, and sometimes, even when I'm exploring those options, it's kind of hard to get her to agree for others for help. And it just gets me stuck. When I set a goal for my business or for myself, sometimes I just feel like I can't move forward because I'm just stuck there. And, you do get a little upset and a little bit out of shape because you want to do what you can, but, and then you're trying to review these goals. So, it kind of messes with which way you need the power.
Right. And then put some systems in place for when times get tough, that you have a system, because we know there is no blueprint for life. It's not always going to go never like we thought it should go or would go. It's called life. It's either happening to you, it just happened to you, or it's about to happen to you. And so have a system that you can, when things start to go awry, how you can get back on track one way or another. So that we all will fall off track, but this show is about how do you get back on track in a timely fashion, or in a space that is not derailing you from your personal goals and dreams and livelihood. All right, Tanisha, we appreciate your call. It's very helpful.
Hey, Tanisha. Wait, Tanisha, before you hang up, was this your first time calling in?
Yes, it is. Okay, so how did you hear about the show? We're always interested with first-time callers. I'm sorry? I said, how did you hear about the show? Oh, I heard about the show from being on Miss Caterina Earl's page. I'm one of your adoptees, Okay, awesome. Just wanted to know. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Excellent. Thank you for your help. Excellent. All right.
Calling in, you're adding value to the show. 313-778-7600. How to get unstuck. And we have identified you got to feel it and you got to fix it. Feel it and deal with it. Yes. We're going to give you an action plan in just a minute. I think we have another caller. Hello, Donna. Thank you for calling. We got issues.
Hi, ladies. How are you? Can you hear me? Yes, I was calling. I wanted to just give a testimony about being stuck and doing some things to get unstuck by trusting God. But I 2 years ago, I had, reached a slump in my job. I had worked in audit for 35 years with the government, and for 6 months before retirement, I had to make a decision because I began to take care of, be a caregiver for my parents. But what happened was I began to say, Lord, pray and ask the Lord to help me to make a decision on staying on the job or just go ahead and get my full retirement. But what happened was I was mentoring some young people that started as auditors in that government office here in Dallas. And they were saying, and some supervisor position came open, and I said, and they were saying, Miss Donna, please put in for that. You are so good. You'd be a good supervisor. And I worked there for 35 years in the same Dallas office, government agency. And I always said I wouldn't be a supervisor. And those young people helped me, encouraged me. I'm supposed to be mentoring them, but they were encouraging me. And they kept saying, I said, y'all, I have not filled out an application or anything in 35 years. I don't even know how to do a resume because I haven't did anything. So they said, we're going to do that. Don't worry about that. We're going to take care of you, Miss Donna. We're going to help you out. We're going to do all that for you. All you need to do is do the application. But in doing that, it's so amazing how God works, because what he did, he opened, I applied for that position, and they did not hire me. They hired someone that spent less time in that office and had less experience. And, I was feeling some kind of way, but the very day that I was supposed to have my interview was the very day another position opened from the Denver office, but they had decided to put an office in Dallas, and they needed a new supervisor. And that night I went to sleep, and I kept saying, I'm not putting this forward. I'm just going here and retire. But the Holy Spirit kept just really nudging me to get up in the middle of the night, and I got up and transferred all of my resume and everything for that position, because it was the same position, but it was the Denver office going to be opening the office in Dallas, and I got that position. And I said, God, it wasn't meant for me to do what I was tired of doing. It was meant. You created this position for me. And I said, God, I thank you. He created a position where I hired my own team. I gave ladies an opportunity in Dallas, Texas, to put their foot in the door. And I prayed and I said, God, just help me to develop them and get the life that you have allowed me to have in working my job. And I tell you all, this is my second year as a supervisor of this team. My ladies trained, and they are awesome. They have exceeded everybody's expectations. And now I'm the manager of the Dallas office that I'm situated in, but from under the Denver office. So they still have to look at me. I'm just now working under their umbrella. But I tell you, God opened the door, and that got me unstuck. Stepping on faith, trusting in him, stepping outside of my comfort zone and saying, God, you have to help me to do this, because I'm in a place I've never been. And then my dad got put on hospice in July, got stuck again. And I heard about a class that Gloria Mayfield Banks was offering called Crush It. And I said, Lord, I don't have time to do this. I say, but I need it right now to keep me focused and positive and care for my dad and my mom. And I tell you, that 6-week class helped me to be encouraged, helped me to stay focused on my business, on my job, developing the latest God place, allowed me to hire. And I tell you, ladies, I just had to share this testimony. This is my first time calling, but I listen to you ladies all the time. And I have been stuck many times, but those are my two major things, and I know it was God, and I know he's keeping me. And I just wanted to, even in my testimony, to just just encourage someone to keep trusting God and keep stepping out on faith and stepping outside of your comfort zone and watch God do and get you unstuck from whatever that situation is. And I thank y'all for listening.
Oh, my. What a testimony.
You taught us. You did some teaching right there. It was chock full of great nuggets. Trust. Don't give up. God's delay is not God's denial. I mean, we could go on and on and on. So many takeaways. Thank you for calling. Thank you. Girlfriends, you guys want to say anything about that?
Wow, Sabrina, that was so awesome. I mean, we always love when our callers call in and they have gone through it. I mean, sometimes, you know, people are just talking about what they've heard, but it's so wonderful when people are talking about it from experience. And so we appreciate when you call in and you give us your experience. And I just love the fact that, you know, sometimes, you know, other people can talk to us, and sometimes it's God talking through them to tell us what we should do. But I'm so glad she listened to those young people and was blessed with that, with the new job. And so, yeah, though that was such good advice.
Mm-hmm. She said,
you're muted,
added
Caterina.
So much value.
Caterina.
She added so much value, and she shared as she was sharing her story. And I just, a lot of times I'll just say, Lord, if it's not meant to be, close the door, because I'm like, then he picked for you. Like, then the options, when you got so many options and you're like, which door to go through, like, it's helpful. So sometimes that just, I have to keep reminding myself that closed door, it's helpful. That's what I asked God for. He closed that door. So that's now I don't have to rack my brain over, should I be doing that or whatever. So that has helped me. For me, so much getting unstuck and overwhelm go hand in hand. So I have to sit down with a spiral notebook. You know, I like typing a lot of stuff, but when I'm feeling that stuck thing, I got to have a paper and some pen. And I just will write down creatively what's how I'm feeling, what's coming to my mind, what I need. I just kind of get it out of here, my body, and get it onto paper. And that is a beginning. Sometimes I never even go back to it. You know, it's just getting the act of doing it helps me with, okay, now what am I going to do? What I can't do it all. So what can I do? You know, so that's important.
A brain dump. That's what we call it. A brain dump. You know what, you guys? I read something that somebody posted the other day, and it has stuck with me, and it's so powerful. It's something, and I believe, you know, even for the topic today, is so true. And this is what it said. It says, sometimes your aspirations are bigger than your discipline. Sometimes your aspirations are bigger than your discipline. And sometimes you're stuck because you want to move to the next level. You want all of these things, but you're not willing to do or take the necessary steps to go to the next level. And that is absolutely the case. When it comes to moving and getting unstuck and going to another level, you cannot have your cake and eat it too, because if you have big dreams, goals, and aspirations, your discipline has to match those goals and aspirations, because you can't have big dreams and little discipline. Big dreams, you got to have big discipline. And I think sometimes we get stuck because that doesn't match, but it can definitely be changed. But you have to ultimately decide, you know what, either you have to change. And listen, I'm not going to say, sometimes maybe your aspirations, we're big thinkers on this show. We always are. But, you know, if that's totally stressing you out, sometimes you have to say, okay, right now, because of my life, everything that's going on, I'm going to have to lower it and
bring it down, lovey, bring it down.
Bring it to, seriously, bring it to where my discipline is right now. Because if you right now aren't able to match your aspirations with your discipline, you're going to always be stuck, and it's always going to make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you know what? And so goals and dreams are one thing, but we got some folks who just stuck to get out of the bed. You're just stuck to go to the grocery store. You're stuck to go take a walk. You're stuck to enroll in the next schoolroom class. You know you want to take a class, but
Stuck in a
you just can't make
relationship.
that. Stuck in a relationship that you know is not healthy. You just like hanging out because you don't have the energy to do something about it. You guys, let me give you some tips on how to get unstuck, and we'll talk about these for a little bit. Let go. Number one, and Lady Crisette talked about let go of the past. That was top of the list. How to get unstuck. Number one, let go of the past. Number two, change your perspective. Think a different thought. Change your perspective. Number three, start with small changes. We're not saying if you want to be a marathon runner, go run 20 miles today. We're saying put the sneakers on and go down the hill. You know, just a little bit, you guys, just a little bit. Number four, explore purpose. Why do you want what you want? What is the reason? Whatever that purpose is should get you up and give you a different perspective. What's your why? The next way to get unstuck, we talked about it already, believe it in yourself. And you guys, we're going to go back to that a little bit because it's easier said than done. All right. The next is practice being hopeful. If you're stuck, you can't go into a situation with a negative mindset. I can't. It won't happen. It'll never happen. I can't do that. Well, if you think you can, you will. If you think you can't, you won't. We've heard that forever, and that is a fact of life. Next is consider talking to a professional. Consider talking to a professional. If you're really stuck and there's some things going on with a mental block, if you've got some past experiences that you just can't get past, yes, talk to somebody who can help you in that area. But what we don't want you to do is stay stuck. We don't want you just staying in a situation because you think you have to, because you don't. We want you to take action. And so changing your perspective. I know Caterina and Crisette, you both talked about how you change your perspective. I mean, you talked about creating a space. Caterina talked about getting a spiral notebook. I will declutter my space. That stuff on my desk, I need to declutter right now because you know what? I was having a time before this show and I said, I've been away for a few days. I did not take the time to clean off this desk before I started my work day. And you know what? It wasn't as productive and powerful and positive as I needed it to be. So sometimes you have to change up that workspace, declutter, how to get unstuck. Take action. You guys, let's talk about taking the first step because I know we've got some callers, we've got some listeners, we've got part of our tribe, and they're like, what is my first step? What would that first step be for you, Caterina?
Trust it. Don't get ready to get fixed and get started. The first step is just move. I mean, it's the first step. Intuitively trust whatever you think is the first step. I mean, I've learned that from Gloria. If you make a mistake, you can correct it, but it's better to get moving toward whatever it is that is unstuck with you and then say, ooh, I should have done it this way and then make a correction than to just trying to make it perfect. So you just, ask somebody who maybe has done that before, do this, talk to the Lord, pray about it, trust yourself, have a conversation, and then just go.
Move. You got to move. You got to move, you guys. You got to pivot. You have to spin yourself into action. It will be uncomfortable. It will be unpopular with some people, but you've got to trust, like Caterina said, and you got to move. Stop procrastinating. Stop thinking about it because sometimes you think long, you think wrong. Crisette, What would you say?
You know what? I'm actually reading a book now, and I'm sure you guys have read it. It is called The Miracle Morning. And it's just, this book is, talking about, some of the things that you can do to be more productive. And part of it is, getting up earlier. And I'll say this, the hardest part of getting up early is getting up. And when I have done that 6 a.m. or earlier, once I roll out of the bed and get started, I'm up and I am more productive. And so I'm just really excited about getting through this book and learning some new ideas and new techniques. But I'm going to tell you, one of the other things that helped me get unstuck. I think you can never underestimate being connected to the right people. The right people is so
That's
important.
right.
Because there have been times when I promise you, I was in a funk, or I didn't feel like, and I got up and I saw somebody. Sometimes it's one of you guys or somebody else that got up and they got out and they exercised. Exercising was the furthest from my mind, but it was something that they did, something that they said that inspired me. And I said, you don't feel like it, but you're going to do it. So I think one of the things that I'm good at is understanding that you cannot buy into your feelings. You got to have conversations with yourself. Many times you don't feel like doing a lot of things. And I always say, if you buy into your feelings, feelings will keep you broke. Feelings will make you poor. Feelings will keep you in, not succeeding and all of that. So sometimes you just got to talk to yourself. I don't feel like it, but self, get your butt up and you're going to do it. And so sometimes you can.
And my husband, and Kenny's famous words about feelings, it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You give the feeling the power. Okay. So you're even giving it the power, and it's giving you power, or it's making you powerless. So that's what we got to do with those feelings. Go ahead, Caterina.
It goes back to that a little bit of what you were talking about, Crisette, but I have grown to understand the subconscious mind so much, and you got to speak to that.
Yes.
You have to speak to it. I talk about this all the time, that reticular activating system. It's in your subconscious mind. It causes you to move in your toward the direction of your most dominant thought. So if you just change the thought, if all your subconscious is telling you is to see blue, see blue, see blue, there could be tons of green and you will not see it. So if you, whatever you're thinking on, you think on it, you think on it, you think on it, that's what you're going to get. And so just changing your perspective, like we're saying, just moving and causing yourself to think a new thought. It's just, there's got to be another way. This is not the only way to think of this. So you got to sometimes you got to save yourself from yourself.
That's it.
Save yourself from
That's
you.
it.
Doing the same things the same way, been driving to work the same way for every time. And it's just, I was listening to something else yesterday that somebody said that he forced himself to do something new every single day. And he said it was easier said than done. Every day he had to do something different for an entire 365 days. Wow.
This is good.
That's a challenge.
This is good. This is good. We've got to wrap up in just a bit, but I want to end with this because your mind, you guys, your body does what the brain, your brain trains the body. The brain tells your body what to do. And so we have to be kind to our mind. And so 5 small steps to settle your mind. Number 1, name the emotion like we talked about. Feel it, find it, fix it. So name the emotion. Number 2, accept the feeling. We already talked about that. Well, you accept it, you deal with it. Number 3, what does that feeling tell you? And then you deal with it. And then number 4, be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Have a down moment, but not a down day. Get unstuck, my friends. You deserve the life you deserve to have. And so, girlfriends, it's been real. Our time is up. Don't miss us tomorrow with Omaroso, 9:10 a.m. the Superstation-WFDF, radio only tomorrow. Download the app. It's been great. See you tomorrow, same time, same station. Ciao.